Hello, everybody, and welcome. That's right. It is time for That Gameplays Live, and I'm here already with the singular co-host. Many more on the way that are normally late, but he never is. He is Orange Monster good. It's Marvin. How you doing, Marvin?
A monster is never late, Culture Casino, and he arrives exactly when he intends.
All right. Well, it's the same with us wizards. But look, we've got a lot to talk about. I mean, you got to get your game on somewhere, and this is the place you do it. We're going to be expanding our game coverage over on that Park Place as well. So stick around, stay tuned, the whole 9 yards. But we have a ton of stories for you today. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at least, and more on the way. We've got some breaking news coming out of Intel. We've got some incredible stuff that I think people will be excited about for the Nintendo Switch. We're going to talk a little bit about a failing of Fortnite, at least in my estimation. And we are definitely talking some Stellar Blade that I don't know if anybody else knew was happening. But we're going to lead off. We are not going to bury the lead. We're going to talk about the thing that the thumbnail is all about. Marvin?
Yes, sir.
What do you think about Star Wars?
I think I really used to like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how are you feeling about it right now?
I feel like I don't like it anymore.
Okay, well, it sounds like you and a huge chunk of audience is in agreement, let's say. And what's great about this article is that you wrote it, so I don't have to.
Yes, I did.
I don't have to do a lot of footwork on this one. I just have to hit this button, and this will be great. I'm looking forward to
finger
this.
work, not footwork.
Bam! There it is. That was the hardest thing I had to do today. Star Wars Outlaws fails to hit 2,500 concurrent players in the first weekend on Steam. Now,
it still hasn't.
Yeah, I pulled today's numbers. I was like, hey, let's
I got them up in front of me right now.
Ah, fantastic. Yeah. And it's wild when you look at a game that, they expected so much from. And Steam is a huge platform. Steam is really it. Like on the PC side of things, you got GOG and, and the other, what's the other one? Epic Games and all that. But they don't do anything. Epic doesn't do anything but their own stuff. And GOG just does the things they can get cheap. Steam does everything that they can deliver to everybody. It doesn't matter if it's a free to play game or the highest end of the AAA titles. So when you look at these numbers are embarrassing. Now, I'm going to read this and then I'm going to ask you questions because again, you wrote this article and it says that Star Wars Outlaws had a chance to reach new players and pull developer Ubisoft out of the red when it released last week on Steam. It failed. Well, wow. I think you just summarized everything.
That was my take on the intro of Babylon 5 Season 4. The Babylon Project was our last best hope for peace. It failed. Sorry, Season 3. I'm a big nerd.
Yes, you are. And speaking of big nerds, so look at these numbers. Actually, you can talk about these numbers. Mm-hmm. There are only 1,656 players at the time that you took this screen grab. There were only
right now. It's very much the same right now. It's about 1,662 right now.
Oh, very nice. And again, I mean, it's not like this article's old, but it's not like it's all that new either, because it has not done well since it started. It looked bad the opening weekend. Wasn't it like 600 or something?
Yeah, the opening day was absolutely terrible. It was like 800 people.
Oh,
like it was absolutely atrocious. It barely was scratching 1,000. And then I watched all weekend because I knew we were going to be writing this article on Monday to kind of summarize. Now, the one major difference here, Culture, is if you look at the store data down there in the bottom left-hand corner, it says number 34 in top sellers. That is currently at this moment sitting at number 66.
Oh wow, it's not doing well. It's on its way to San Bernardino because it's on Route 66. So yeah, that's an obscure reference. But look, 2,492, and this thing has yet to cross 2,500. This is telling me that there is no interest in this game. It's also telling me that Steam's not selling a lot of games at all right now.
It's
If it's in the
the game
top
is already
66.
listed at 25% off in the Steam store.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And we talked a little bit, videos coming out here shortly, folks, I think tomorrow. But we talked a little bit, not, and you weren't there, unfortunately, Marvin. But we talked a little bit about the fact that the Justice Kill the Justice League game, the Squad Kill the
Yes.
Justice League game, and I know you wrote that article too.
I did write that article, so I am familiar with it.
Yeah, their super special deluxe edition was like $5.
$5 on the Epic Games Store. Yes.
If you
Regular version of the game still like $70, still $69.99. But the the super deluxe version, $5.
Yeah. So according to your article here, it says deeply unpopular Star Wars title failed to draw a massive PC audience. Of course, this would be a terrible showing for any AAA title, but it's even worse for a major Star Wars release featuring classic characters like Jabba the Hutt. But wasn't Jabba like an add-on? He wasn't like a day one thing, right?
Yeah. He's still in the game. He's still all over the marketing for the game. So lots of people, in my opinion, would have bought the game thinking that he's in it.
Wow, they would have been disappointed. So Outlaws faced a number of problems right away, like it was garbage, undercooked, and looked terrible. But first, it presented another female-focused Star Wars story to a fan base that has become exhausted by the concept. That's a kind way of putting that. After the Star Wars sequel trilogy, The Acolyte, Rogue One, Ahsoka, and Season 3 of Mandalorian, a lot of Star Wars fans are burnt out on girl power. I think a lot of fans in any genre or area is burned out of girl power, but hey, that's my take. The main character of the game is Kay Vess, who was played by Humberly Gonzalez, who started to, mask and mirror all of the bologna sausage that was coming out of the studio itself. But
speaking of mask, they made her look like Rocky Dennis.
Exactly, because the developers actually tweaked her appearance, making her less conventionally attractive. You are using the kindest phrasing I know.
I am a professional, my friend. I am a newsman, first and foremost. You come to these live streams to get my opinion.
Well, let me tell you,
come to the site to get the news and the truth.
That's right. That's actually true. But conventionally attractive, I would say they beat her with the ugly stick. But anyway,
yes.
Many saw this an intentional virtue signal on the part of Ubisoft and Lucasfilm. Fans worldwide have noted this trend among AAA games, in which female characters are ruined, wrecked, or rather destroyed, made less attractive, while male characters are overly sexualized. Ooh,
yes,
they like the dudes, huh? They're down with the dudes. Fair enough. Speaking of which, being down with the dudes, we got a dude joining us, and he's got an opinion on Star Wars. If you look at his avatar, it's Jonas J. Campbell. Greetings, sir.
Well, hello there.
Yeah, we are talking about and Spencer, another dude.
Hey,
Chief.
Yeah. He's the problem. It's him.
Yeah, well, I know. Yeah, he's the whole reason you're late. But I know that Ubisoft's terrible performance on Steam has to impress you, gentlemen. Which we'll continue on with the wondrous words of our Mr. Marvin here. But the French developer has a rough go of things lately, with massive controversy rising from its decision to make a black historical figure the central male protagonist in its upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows title instead of a Japanese man. Ubisoft has also come under fire for the past for perceived predatory microtransactions meant to sap every last nickel and dime from its players. Wow.
That's the truth.
All right, so let's take a look at these numbers you guys didn't get a chance to react to. Now, this is the Monday article. These are Monday numbers.
They're the same numbers now, though. I think it's right now. If I refresh the page, it is currently sitting at a concurrent player count of 1,687 with a 24-hour peak of 1876 for an all-time peak of still 2,492 players.
So would you say that's bueno or no bueno?
No bueno, my friend.
Spencer, you've been covering this story, I bet. Why do you think so many Steam players ignored this game?
Well, I'm going to put a caveat here, is that I think so many Steam players ignored the game because this game is also primarily available on the Ubisoft storefront, which isn't as prominent, but there are people playing it there. However, that doesn't change the fact that this is still a really bad performance for this game on what is arguably the bigger platform, the biggest storefront, if you will.
Right. And if you have Ubisoft Premium Plus whatever the service is in order to play the $130 version for just $20 to try it out, then you can play it on Xbox at that point. So that wouldn't be included in this. I think this game very much became a try before you buy situation because of Ubisoft Premium Plus, and everybody saw what they had, and everyone said, no, thank you. I would like to play a complete game, which is apparently what they're trying to do now. Who knows?
Well, all I know is that when you look at these numbers and the fact that it still hasn't crossed 2,500, and again, I was talking to the fact that this is the biggest PC platform out there, right? Steam is it. And I think that while you make good points, Spencer, and you do too, Jonas, I still say arguably you would still expect greater numbers than this for anything PC.
I wasn't disagreeing with you. I was saying that anyone who played it on console probably paid $20 to play it one time and then left it in the dust.
Yeah, I think that's probably true.
Yeah, I'm just giving the caveat that we're all like, we're not going to see monumental numbers here, but this is still bad.
No, I agree. I just in seeing the gameplay, and again, we had the unique opportunity to watch Jonas struggle and fail a lot playing this. That it was just awful looking. I mean, not just her. Obviously, we made commentary about that before, but the game is not attractive.
Well, the game is not only is the game not attractive, but the game didn't work. It was so buggy. Remember that?
Yeah.
What was the one where they like just fell through the ground and like continued to fall for eternity?
Right.
Or
and,
the very famous one with the stealth mission where like you knock the guy out in the stealth mission, but then the game moves you into the middle of all of the guys that you're trying to hide from.
And the fact that Fat Steven had a great clip of himself being hit by a speeder that didn't have anyone on it, or the weird punching fight between K-Vess and the Imperial trooper who was on a parked speeder and no one got off the speeder. And it's awkward. It's broken. It's everything that Ubisoft is now notorious for.
Yeah, and that's a bad reputation to develop over time. It really kind of ruins your gaming studio, going forward. I mean, the problem is, I think, Jonas, and I'm sure you guys can speak to this, but all of you, is the fact that I don't know that anybody's looking forward to any upcoming Ubisoft game, right?
Well, my order of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is still not arrived yet. So
serious? It's been like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It has.
That's crazy.
I guess when you pay $15 for a game, you can't expect much.
Well, I mean, you should expect it to show up. I mean, I'm getting, I ordered a replacement fitness watch yesterday. I'm getting it later today. So I don't know where your game is.
It's the lost game. I don't know what to tell you. It's just not here.
The lost game.
It still says it's coming. So I'm going to hit the hourglass there. I'm going to roll it back, say that's not how it happened, and we'll see where we are in a few weeks. But Ubisoft right now, I mean, we're covering stories on the channel as videos again. Obviously, they're being sued over The Crew. We have everything being delayed. I think this is a company that we're lucky. They're lucky if they actually get anything to see the light of day. And it sounds like they've basically redone this game at this point. It has a new creative director after release. And I don't see the player numbers for this going up by much, but I think that they're trying to answer to shareholders and say that they delivered a complete product. At this point, I don't know if it's that they're trying to get gamers to re-examine a game that was released broken, or if they're trying to say, no, it works, to the people that they'll have to be answering to as far as shareholders go.
I will counter that, and I will say it's probably to the former point of trying to show everybody, like, look, we got this game into a good spot because, Jonas, we are a month away from Christmas. So if you can get people on board for Christmas, you can have people go, oh, I heard it got better now. I'll buy it for my brother, my boyfriend, my son, my whatever.
That's a very good point. Has the price changed at this point? Are they now charging less for a game that is supposedly more complete?
Well, on the Steam store, it's already 25% off. So you're paying about $39.99, I believe.
I'm
And
still
it's-
wary of saying I play this game because I think I'd have to play it for this channel, but maybe.
Really?
I mean, apparently it's a different game
I
at this point.
Idea. I mean, I liked the idea of an open world Star Wars game where you can get into a ship on a planet and fly up into space and fly about and land on another planet and all that. You know, you're actually flying the ship. I liked that idea, but it's just it was handled so poorly. Which you know, it's Ubisoft. What are you gonna do?
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
like I never had hope for this game.
Yeah, I don't think anybody did, to be fair. I look, I never look forward to anything Ubisoft now, and it used to be my favorite game studio.
Yeah.
You know, and then obviously, you know, EA is the most hated, but I don't know if they're going to lose that title to Ubisoft. It's possible. I mean, it is possible.
No, I
look,
don't think it's gonna go. EA is if Ubisoft is bad, EA is dog poo. Like let's not conflate things just because Ubisoft's making a couple bad games. Like EA
No,
is
I agree.
evil.
And more people play EA games to get mad at EA than I think play Ubisoft games because they do have EA Sports with Madden and you know every sports game under the sun.
see,
FIFA.
but Madden is complete garbage because they don't do anything with it. It's like they don't change anything for like
You think
3
that,
to.
but it still sells. People still buy it. It's still a popular game.
It's a habit game at this point.
Yeah, you don't just because you don't like it doesn't mean other people don't.
No, you're right, but I mean, it's just like, why are you buying that? Just load up your last season and you know, get current rosters, and you're playing the same game. They make innovations like every 5 games, so it's like every 5 years you'll get something different.
It's a new roster. What's that clip? What's that quote from Tron? What's the difference between the latest version of Flynn OS or whatever it is? Well, this year we put a 7 on the box,
which is true.
Pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Well, I feel like we've Star Wars'd us to death. We also covered our initial thing. You know, the concurrent. They want the concurrent counts gone. And can you blame them why they want those numbers to disappear?
Oh, it's embarrassing. And you think about how many sites like us have been covering those concurrent player counts. It just says that we're getting to them. It bothers them so much to have their failures out there for everyone to see.
Well, it's like, and to think of it this way, you know, everybody who has, you know, these our way or the highway kind of ideologies that they try. You either adhere to this, or you know, we'll ban you, or we'll kick you out of our company, or we'll call you bad names. They all are now hiding because they've been exposed for their bad behaviors of various types. And I mean, it's happening in games. It's happening in car brands. It's happening in a lot of things. I mean, the Jaguar story took another twist I'll be covering on my channel. I can't even believe an internal memo that's bananas crazy. And like I said, these game studios have been revealed for what they are, and they just continue to misbehave. So any final thoughts on Star Wars Outlaws and their lack of concurrent players on Steam, and the fact that they're trying to get Steam to disable that?
It stinks.
Okay. Get out of here, Jay. This is not a movie show.
I love it. All right. Well, on that note, we have a bunch of super chats we need to get to. Jonas, I'm so glad you're here.
You want me to read those super chats for you, man?
Always. Yeah.
Odin 87 for, is that Uruguayan?
Uruguayan pesos, and that is 75 Uruguayan pesos.
Outlaw should have been based on Zahn's scoundrels and followed Han Solo. I cannot disagree with you there. Got to meet Timothy Zahn. He's a brilliant guy and humble. Alternatively, it could have featured Dash Rendar and Guri Post, SOE Evolution.
Nobody remembers Dash exists. Come on now.
Shadows
I love Dash, but nobody at Disney remembers he exists.
Yeah, I like the idea of Dash Rendar, but he's there to try to remind you of Han Solo, and then still have mistakes in the game, just in case you know he might die, because
he was your original, not Han.
Yeah. Base player iffy for $4.99. I hope Gaben has someone lined up to take over Valve when he leaves. Steam can collapse very easily if the wrong person takes over. This is true. Having a visionary at the head of your company is very dangerous if you have to leave that company. Look at Apple and how they've been on autopilot ever since Steve Jobs passed away.
We were just talking about Disney as one of those as well.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yep. They don't have a John Lasseter over there. They've got a Kevin Feige, and he's only in charge of Marvel at the moment. Pinochet's helicopter tours for $5. SEC changed the laws, making even one toxic positive or bottled review illegal. Not get to 10 or 1000s, but 1. Use the SEC to hammer game dev shenanigans. Ooh, I like it.
Me too. Yeah, and I think it's funny because really that a law that a lot of people were concerned were going to hit us is not going to hit us. So, you know, I'm not all that worried about it. I am happy that we have 354 viewers right now. Great to see you all. Thanks for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Jonas, let's say thank you to Pinochet because that was very kind.
Thank you very much, Pinochet. Are you? Wait. Am I supposed to hit this button right here?
Well, that works. We need clips. Jonas. You are like the clip master. How come you haven't put any clips
The
in?
crab people reign supreme.
I will refer to you to our previous conversation about the workloads on various.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, you're so busy.
Hey, making it all worth it here with a $3 super chat, super sticker of the little pear guy, but he's given a thumbs up. Speaking of which, if you hadn't hit the thumbs up on this right now, we're at 43 likes according to YouTube, and would much appreciate it if you could hit that like button. But if you want to super chat a like, that's also okay too. Thank you very much, Samuel Maine. Jacob Foxfires for $5. While it's all rumors, I would imagine with this year alone, plenty of studios are trying to push for Steam to censor the numbers, be less transparent. That's right, because they're ashamed.
Well, I mean, and look, we do a good job of shaming them. I mean, and then we do a good job of praising them. Our next story, which was actually written over on Bounding, but not by this guy because he seems to be lazy right now.
Well, I'm the laziest person. I don't even really have a job.
Yeah,
I'm like Milton.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough. Anyway, we do have positive stories. We praise people when they deserve it, and we throw negative comments at them if they don't. And transparency is good, I think. What about
this
you guys?
channel? More than any of the channels in our network, I think has positive stories because Nintendo still exists.
That's right. And there are 2 Nintendo stories coming on today. Jonas.
And every so often, Jonas and I are allowed to say like 4 sentences about Fortnite, and those are always positive.
Oh, yeah. I brought a Fortnite story. Jonas, you're going to be happy.
Is he going to be happy? Because didn't you say it was? Yeah, I don't think he's going to be happy with what you were saying in the beginning.
Okay, well, we'll get there when we get there. Advec for $2. Ubisoft, I think you mean Disney Soft.
Oh,
for those of you just listening, it's Disney with the EA spelled like, EA.
Yeah, that had to have been like, well, we're going to experiment with going outside the box, and that was not the box anybody wanted.
Mm-hmm. Bob Iger pulled the microtransactions.
We needed to get in on that.
It's true. Remember?
That was quote of all time.
Wasn't that, Jonas? That was like a revelation to
Kids are playing these video games.
I mean, if you just follow what he said, he's been fully aware. He interjected himself into the Battlefield situation back in the day when it was revealed there would be loot boxes in the game. He tried to take credit for them being removed. He's known about video games for quite some time. He also tanked Disney Infinity. Casperius, I'm agreeing with you guys while also pointing out the lie.
We're also going to be rolling out a new brand of Disney marbles and jacks because I hear the kids are into playing those in the schoolyard.
Casperius for $5. We are in Steam Black Friday sale territory. It was going to go on sale even if it was good, even if it was a good game.
It's just odd that it happened right when it came out. Maybe it's just poor timing, but still.
Well, wait a minute. There's no coincidences. I mean, look at when they're going to release Assassin's Creed Shadows. There are no coincidences, my friend.
Yeah, they're doing that back to back with Captain America.
Woohoo!
Or not back to back, same day as everything go up against each other.
The finale of Captain America is also Captain America in what a black Captain America in what appears to be Japan. So. What's up with that?
No. Oh, no.
I see all those cherry blossoms. Like, what are you guys doing over here? Jay for $5.
Japan wants adamantium.
And I gotta say, America does not need to send Japan another flop. Jay for $5. What we need right now is a modded N64 Shadows of Empire, 60 frames per second. Remove the memory fog and open up the controls to many.
Oh, that would be great.
That would be an excellent nostalgia play too.
Yeah, I would. Shadows of the Empire was so good.
It was fun, and it had Boba Fett.
It did.
Kenan Barnes for $1.99. What are y'all's thoughts on Planet Coaster 2?
I'm going to try to play it.
I have only heard of it by reputation.
I'm going to hold out for
Planet
Coaster 3.
Girls in Planet Coaster for me to care.
Here's for those of you who are coaster fans. The original Roller Coaster Tycoon is supposed to roll out to Switch here pretty quick, from what I heard. So there's that.
I just want to bring this up here. Donovan Bradford says, to be fair, Jonas J. Campbell, Disney Infinity was nowhere near the hit Skylanders was. The thing I'm going to say is,
but I still like it.
Disney Infinity was the only time that Disney Interactive ever made a profit, and one of the few times they ever brought it up on earnings calls. And then, as soon as it didn't make a profit, they canned the entire division.
They did
1/4 of losses, and they got rid of the entire thing. So,
which
Chapek?
Go ahead.
I was just asking, was that Chapek or was that Iger?
I think it was
Iger.
It was under consumer products, so probably Chapek at that point.
I don't think that was who was running the games section, though. I'm trying to remember who that was back then. But look, Disney Infinity wasn't all bad. I really liked all the pieces.
It was great because it was like they asked you to make your own crappy movie tie-in game.
Yeah. Well, and I just loved it and had fun. So
I disliked it so very much. It was really expensive, and I played it with a kid, and that kid kept grabbing things off of the pad.
Oh no!
So it was like, that's not how this works. So it was just a kind of a frustrating experience. But they wanted to play, didn't understand how to play, so it was kind of a hit and a miss.
You lost connection.
It's right.
Speaking of losing connection, we're losing connection with our subject matter. Although it looks like we've got one more super duper chat.
That we do. I should have my mic on before I start talking. Kanan Barnes for $4.99. Disney is turning Fortnite into Disney Infinity 4.0. The best part about that is that Disney doesn't have the creative control over this that they did for Disney Infinity. Epic Games is in charge of all of this. It's still super weird. I don't understand who's paying 3,800 V-Bucks for all of those Disney characters, but at least this opens up the doors for things like Alien. And well, there'll be an Avatar. We can talk about leaks all we want. Also, Baymax is coming, so we'll have our first Disney animated superhero.
Can we do Baymax?
I mean, do the Incredibles count?
Oh, that's true.
And I used to like Baymax, and then
and it became Baymax.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've got another. And thank you everybody for your. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I won't make any jokes about the way that Mrs. Incredible has been treated in Fortnite.
What jokes? It's the greatest achievement of Western civilization.
Unfortunately, my friends sent me some things that were not spectacular about that, but
best
it's fine.
Skin ever.
Okay.
I just log in for the lobby and then I drop out.
That's what I've heard. All right, so we've got another story. This one over from Bounding Into Comics because we like to. We're inclusive in our coverage here, and this one is
Chief
good
does
news.
Good work.
That's right.
No one.
We got Nicola Patchik. I can't say his name, but anyway, thank you, Nicola. Saying Stellar Blade honors Yoko Taro's legacy with fourth wall breaking Easter egg in Nier Automata DLC. Well, that's cool. So yeah, we're gonna get as if there were any doubt. Oh no, we lost the Jonas. As if there were any doubt that the economic or eccentric creator's silver-haired creation would be in good hands with Shift Up players, have discovered the existence of a very specific Yoko Taro-inspired Easter egg in Stellar Blade, newly released Nier Automata, which is amazing. It is got a crossover DLC. It was released on November 19th and priced at $9.99. I didn't know any of this. Did you guys see that this came out?
Yeah, this
I
was
did
pretty.
not.
This is a pretty big story.
Yeah. Well, it hit me in the teeth because I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. So anyway, however, more than just a visual feast, the DLC serves as a medium for Shift Up to offer a tasteful nod to the Nier series creator, Yoko Taro, and his signature brand of humor, which I thought, I still think this is a very interesting game and game set. With the new DLC, if the player attempts to zoom in and angle the camera for a cheeky view, they'll be met with a swift kick in the face. So they're shutting out the creep factor. That's kind of interesting. Spencer, you want to react to this game in any way?
I mean, well, it's a good Easter egg. This is an Easter egg from the very first Nier game, which released back in like 2007, where if you tried to look up that character's skirt, if you tried, you would get kicked in the face, and if you did it enough times, you would actually die, and you would get an achievement for it. So I think it's really cool. I think it is like we wrote, it's a cheeky little Easter egg, and it shows that that the people at Shift Up actually care about, I mean, it's obvious they really like Nier. I mean, Stellar Blade basically is just Nier with a Korean paint job, but it's good to see that they, go sort of this length
I grabbed this. I grabbed this because I thought it was, making the game be more wholesome, like because they were trying to say we are not trying to make this a game that's, all about, weirdness. Right?
No, I don't know what you're talking about there, because this entire game is built on sexy. So now if you're trying to say, oh yeah, now I totally thought they were going to go and make this not sexy and clean, it's like, I don't think you're in the right.
But the thing is I'm trying to say they're not pushing that boundary to an extreme is what my point is.
What do you, it's Stellar Blade, dude. Yeah, it is. I don't know what you're talking. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what boundary you're talking about. You got to be a little more specific. I don't know what you mean.
I'm trying to keep this inside the realm of the PG-13 thing. So I'm going to say it this way. They are not like making it overtly in your face kind of situations possible.
Yes, they are. It's Stellar Blade. I don't know what you're talking about. You're being too vague here. Stellar Blade is all pure sex appeal. It's all about butt shots in your face and chests and everything. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm genuinely confused.
All right. Well, on that note, I'll just say I think it's really neat that there's some interesting Easter eggs in here, and I like the fact that they're nodding or tipping the hat towards Nier Automata. What do you think about that, Marvin?
I mean, I don't really have a horse in that race. Stellar Blade is not my usual kind of game, but no, I agree with you. I think it's great that they're tipping the hat. I like fourth wall breaking things like that, like what Spencer's saying with like trying to look up the skirt and getting kicked in the head. That's funny stuff. I like that kind of stuff, and I think more games should have a sense of humor like that.
Yeah, and I think it's okay to show that you have a sense of humor and that you're not trying to be overtly something or another, but I'm not being specific enough, so I'm going to stop asking questions.
Sorry, I had a little bit of a internet issue there.
Well, I think you also had probably the dog as well, but we did get a super chat that I think Jonas is back to read, so that's great.
Let's see here. Makini draws for 10. I've been too darn obsessed with Stellar Blade since last week. I'm on my 4th playthrough, and photo mode is one of the best photos I've experienced. This is one I'm passing on. It violates my rule of if a wife or girlfriend walks into the room,
right?
What are they going to assume?
Right. You don't want anybody to assume the worst. But I think,
if the people in your life really care about you, they're not going to that's a weird. I get the argument, but it's also like all the people I know in my life and my female friends and sisters and girlfriends I've had, they would just go, "What are you playing?"
Yeah, I get that, and there's a lot of I trust you kind of things and stuff like that. Yeah. But not to get too religious with it, but I try to stay away from things that are focused on the thirsty women because I enjoy the female form. So I'm not trying to put too much of it in front of my face.
I'll say this,
except for what I'm married to. So
I'll say this. Thank you, Makini, for the $10 super chat. That's amazing. I have to write that down. So I'm going to write that down.
Write that down.
Write that down.
We already got that one.
we also have, we caught up. We got another story I want to talk about. Now, I get annoyed with game companies shoving another step down my throat for getting from point A to point B. So if I want to launch a game, let's say like through Steam or whatever, I don't want to encounter another launch box, a launcher. And I thought this is kind of interesting that game studios or game makers or whatever, publishers, are starting to recognize that that's kind of an ick. See, I'm going to use the terms. Kind of an ick for players. Well, one of those icks is going away. In a story I sent you guys earlier, the 2K launcher is going the way of the Dodo. This was just published by Chris Kerr over at Game Developer. And the launcher is being removed from every game that used it on Epic and Steam. So you will not have an additional hoop to jump through when you're going to play your game. 2K said the change will impact titles differently and with varying degrees of complexity, but the 2K launcher has been completely sunset.
What
2K
games even use that? This is literally the first I'm ever hearing of a 2K launcher.
Well, lots of 2K's got a lot of different kinds of launchers, including the company's also axed the 2K beta, a completely separate launcher from Sid Meier's Civilization 5. I got to tell you, I don't like more screens before I decide to play a game. So on November 25th,
right? But what games had this? Is what I'm asking.
A number of titles actually have the 2K launcher game, just like what is it? CD Projekt Red has a third party launcher that launches.
I get that, but I'm sort of looking for specific examples there, Culture, not just
right. Civilization 5, Mafia Trilogy, XCOM 2. So it sounds like a lot of the stuff that would have been associated with.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was in the story, Spencer, so I was getting. But no, there's a lot of games that'll come out of, and again, I like the Mafia Trilogy. I love. I play Civilization constantly. Does anybody still play any of the XCOM games?
I not since 2, like years ago, right?
Yeah, no,
that's like super old.
Yeah, but the BioShock stuff, I love BioShock. Regardless, anyway, I just think it's neat because they're able to remove this, right? And it will not impact the games at all. The save data, purchase records, because they track all that stuff, or any of that. They actually released a FAQ to explain that to anybody who bought it. This is always good news to me. Take away things that are annoyances. So, Marvin, you've been quiet. Do you care?
This isn't my, it's. I mean, it just kind of seems like it's an outdated system that's just going to kind of naturally fade away.
It's a pet peeve. Nobody else feels as strongly about it. See, this is
I hate malware. Basically, when they do things like this, I hate it. And it's another invitation to when you control the app stores that people play through, it is a huge invasion of your digital privacy, and that is obnoxious. They're going to get it another way through the Steam launcher or through the Epic Game Store. They're not giving up ground here because they would never lose access to that data. But what's the definition of a virus? Something that tries to use your computer, clogs up your computer, tries to take your data and use it against you. Well, by that definition, Norton antivirus is the most popular computer virus in the world.
Yes, it is.
So 2K launcher, may it rest in, not in rest in peace, may it die in a fire. I hate launchers, and I would like to install whatever it is directly onto my machine.
Isn't Ubisoft talking about doing a launcher for the Assassin's Creed games now?
They have one.
Hate it so much. That is one good thing about consoles. They can't force you into a secondary shop in order to do this. So
right.
Yeah. Well, one little tidbit.
And then
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. No, I was just gonna say. I was just gonna say, I do feel as strongly as you do. I'm just still sort of in disbelief that this existed.
Oh yeah.
because I was sort of like, doesn't everybody realize at this point, unless you're EA or Ubisoft for some reason, that nobody likes these? So I'm just sort of in disbelief that it even existed still.
Yeah, that stuff it blows my mind too. But I mean, I'm confronted with it on the regular on many of the games that I play. I mean, I'm irritated that CD Projekt Red still when I go in to play Cyberpunk, it still wants to launch another thing. I'm like,
That's
please
so
stop.
ridiculous. That's meta, man. That's Cyberpunk in your Cyberpunk.
Speaking of which, I garble some coffee. We got one more super chat before we get on to the next one.
That's right here. Gory Eye Beast for $2 Canadian. Girls always make and play hot female sprites too. Yeah.
I mean, like we've talked about the fact that I oftentimes will play both genders on games because it doesn't bother me, and a lot of people prefer to play the women's version of a character. Because they're playing the game for hours on end. It all makes sense to me. I get it. But I agree.
I'll say like Batman Arkham City, playing as Catwoman. They put a little extra motion in the ocean there on Catwoman to the point where like I need to get past
the switch.
I'm not playing my games for that. So that's if that's your taste, that's your tastes. When
I play Mass Effect, it's male shepherd only.
I see.
I'm a female shepherd always.
I always use femme shep one because Jennifer Hale has an amazing voice, and
that's true.
See, that's it for me. Like,
also,
Stellar Blade, I see what it is, and we can all act like we don't know what Stellar Blade is, but we know exactly what Stellar Blade is.
Of course.
And if it's a great game, I'm just gonna have to take everyone else's word for it. But when you start to get into the sultry sounds of an alto like Jennifer Hale, ooh, that's nice. I like that.
So really quickly, can I just say that the hitbox on the female version of whatever is usually smaller? So.
Oh yeah. When you play Fortnite, it's a great way to reduce the size. I'm not. Sorry, culture. We're all giving you a hard time today. I don't mean to make it the rag on culture show.
That's fine.
But there's a difference between FemShep and whatever the girl's name is in Stellar Blade. There's a big costume difference there.
Make fun of his beard now.
Yeah. Just come right at me, bro. Come on in my hair. Make fun of it. Make fun.
All right.
Make fun of my branded clothing, right? Beach Punk. Make fun of that.
Look, you just want to
make fun of his work schedule.
All right.
Pinochet's helicopter tours for $2. Rockstar Game Launcher going away as well. Maybe.
I hope so. Oh boy, that is also annoying as heck.
Yeah,
that one's super annoying, but I also feel like sadly that will probably be one of the ones that holds on forever because GTA Online is
because they want to sell stuff.
Powerful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have just an inkling of news. I'm going to ink you. You ready to be?
Oh no!
You get it. This is a Splatoon story. I'm suing.
I'm going to ink you right now. This is part of a bigger story we'll get to in just a moment. But I want to drop. This inkling. Inkling. We don't have an inkling thing. I need to make clip thingies anyway because Jonas says no. All right, let's get to it.
Okay, sorry.
Very, very important Nintendo news. Incredibly important. You guys are going to want to stick around for this one. Huge story. Huge. Like enormous. It's like 2 sentences. A Nintendo Switch 2 feature hints at the console's design. The sequel to the Nintendo Switch has been confirmed to be backwards compatible. I've been reporting that here and everywhere I listen that this has been what they were going to do. So that says a lot about its possible design. Now, here's the cool thing. That's it. Thank you, Game Rant.
That's it?
That's it.
Well, it's a good thing they went into the backstory of the Switch 2.
Good Lord.
Whoa. Okay. Well, let's talk about that then. Are we saying that this is essentially the DS to the 3DS? Is that what we're thinking here? Like the Nintendo Switch 2 is just going to be, here's the same thing. We're going to put a little extra slot there so you can't put your Nintendo Switch 2 cartridges into the Nintendo Switch and then just call it a day?
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything about it's upgraded, and it's definitely got more capacity. It's got a lot more onboard memory. The upgraded processor's better. But I saw all this before because I saw the design. I was like, okay, here's the blueprints. This is what they're building. All of this is obvious. So it's anyway. I found that funny. I was like, oh, what's a nonsense story we could interject with? But there it is.
I mean, I'm for it. I'm for it as long as it's not the difference between the Nintendo's 3DS and the new Nintendo 3DS.
Oh,
now
gosh.
that one was a bizarre change. But if we're talking,
amiibos.
And you could add the amiibo functionality. Anyways, I think there were only 2 actual games. Like they put Xenogears, I think Xenoblade.
So this is just a sort of side anecdote to the new 3DS, but it is something I will always be mad about. So they made a one-piece fighting game in Japan for the new 3DS. That was the very first game, one of the first games to have amiibo functionality. And what it did is if you used an amiibo, it would give a specific like one-piece character that character's costume. So like Luffy would be Mario, Nami would be Wii Fit Trainer, Sanji would be Link. It was awesome. And I went, oh, I want that so bad. I have no interest in amiibos, but I want those costumes so bad. So I spent like a summer collecting those amiibos, trying to find all of the main like 12 that they first released. And then they canceled that game. They said, yeah, we're not bringing that game west. Good luck. And I was just like, I don't want to play anymore.
I personally haven't trusted amiibos since one ate that kid's brain at Disney's River Country.
Well, that's an amiibo. That's amiibo.
I mean,
I thought you guys were talking about something way different. All right.
Yeah,
No.
the list of exclusives for the new Nintendo 3DS is teeny tiny. Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, Minecraft, Fire Emblem Warriors, a Binding of Isaac remake, and like 3 other things. I could list out the rest.
That's the thing I'm worried about with the Switch too. Is it's just like, it's just going to be a slightly better Switch, like what we're saying. Like it's going to be like the move from the Wii to the Wii U, where like it is really no difference. A lot of the games come out for both. I don't know. Asking me to make another investment on Switch, I don't know. The consoles are coming too fast now.
Do you have a PS5, Marvin?
I have a PS5.
Oh, lucky. I don't. I was genuinely curious.
No, I fought for months to get it back when you couldn't get them.
I had mine on Christmas
I don't have an
Day.
Xbox.
And mine on Christmas
nobody
Day.
does.
Nobody does. You know what? That's the problem. Is Xbox turned
Jonas
themselves
does.
into?
I have an
PC
Xbox. I had to get one to get. Well, I have a Series S, if you want to still call that an Xbox. I have that so that I can travel and still have console gaming when the whole family plays Fortnite together. So.
Okay, so it's basically just a Fortnite device. They can make a Fort box.
Yeah, and I played Shredder's Revenge on Game Pass when that was on there.
I love Shredder's Revenge.
I think that's on Netflix.
Yes,
I love Shredder's Revenge and that new Power Rangers game that's basically just like Turtles in Time. Shredder's Revenge is coming out soon.
Rita's Rewind. I love how
it pre-ordered.
It looks like it was made 30 years ago and redone, and that is the best thing that you could say for a Power Rangers beat 'em up. Poor culture is trying to run a show over here, and we're over here just being like, hey, let's enjoy talking about video games.
Well, actually, that's kind of what we're supposed to do here, and we're 45 minutes or 48 minutes in. We got an audience over 400. Thanks you all for being here.
Yes,
and we've got other things too, like more Nintendo news. Are you excited?
I like Nintendo.
Yay!
More than a snippet, and it kind of seems like it's giving us a direction that Japan might be wanting to take with China. But I'm going to let you guys decide that while I present the story, because I don't know. But this seems telling, this moment in time, this one moment in time, when the Nintendo Switch eShop is closing 2026 in China. The Nintendo Switch eShop. Now, you guys use the eShop?
Really?
What?
Yeah,
that sounds like an apology.
The eShop is the Nintendo store, right? Like it's the It's like what you buy. I use it all the time.
Yep. You got it, Marvin. It's just the standard login. Oh, I got to go buy something digitally. Like that's crazy.
So I want to go ahead.
Do they? So I'm assuming then they actually have the Nintendo Switch in China at this point. They avoided actual consoles there. Do they just not sell the dock?
I honestly don't know. We can read the story.
Okay. I have so many questions.
Well,
I don't know how to read.
Nintendo's going to be closing their eShop and all network services in China. So that's everything, kids. Bye-bye.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And that will be on March 31
Whoa.
of 2026. So they're giving
What
everybody
happened? Did someone say the President G looked like Bowser now?
I don't know, but 18 months from now or
No,
so.
like a Goomba.
Yeah, this will be done. So the digital store will no longer sell games, plus free trials will no longer be available. And then from May 15, 2026, Nintendo will stop all download and code redemption services, meaning DLC will no longer be redeemable. All other network-related services end May 15, 2026. Now, Nintendo has not stated why it's ending those services in the country. However, it is launching I don't think it is either.
Can't be.
However, it is launching a reward program providing users up to 4 Nintendo games for free for WeChat users. Those will be redeemable between November 27th, so this week, and the 31st of March, 2026. So look at all these games.
Okay. Yeah, I think I see the pattern here. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's the pattern? Hit me, Jonas, because you clearly had that insight really hard. You went,
okay. So the history in China is that they've been very against console games. They don't want people to have consoles. So, for instance, the IQ player, which was the Nintendo 64, it was like a controller and a console in one, and you plugged it into the TV. And
it's like the things we in the hotels.
right, exactly. And so you would plug it into the TV, and I think there was a system to where you could switch out that game. I don't know if I'm confusing the.
Would you have to call like a CCP like administrator, and he'd have to come with a special key and unlock it? Like, okay, here's Kirby.
Right. Well, essentially switching it out on the controller here. So. And I don't know if I'm getting the disk drive system from Japan mixed up with the IQ player, but essentially they wanted to do anything that they could in order to avoid it seeming like a console, because that was the law in China.
Right,
with something like this, if I had to guess, the Nintendo Switch probably circumvents that by being a handheld here, and if Nintendo's eShop is shutting down, China probably had access to whatever the data was for the eShop and was giving Nintendo of Japan a lot of trouble. I don't know what the relations are between Japan and China. I'm imagining it's not the same as America and China, or even America.
It's not,
and
but it's
Canada.
Still not great.
It's never been good.
Yeah.
Right. So if I were guessing at what is going on here, I would say that the Chinese government is cracking down on what's going on here, and Nintendo is doing their best to salvage the relationship with players that they have through the eShop by saying, we will give you these games if you agree to connect with us over here. So they still have access to the customers. They can still, I don't know, sell cartridges and things like that. I think this is customer retention.
I think I understand it well. I mean, because look, Mario is definitely capitalist propaganda. You're talking about a white New Yorker plumber, a blue collar worker going out there working really hard to get all those coins. That's a threat to the Chinese government right there.
From a startup too. He's not part of a corporation. That's his own business.
Yes,
that's true. And if he doesn't have those coins, he's dead essentially.
Yeah, well,
I've been waiting for culture to click yes on this.
I'm going to. The coins.
Oh, you're a trendsetter.
The majority of people.
Forget you guys.
I love it. I love my Alarmo. You guys will actually be seeing that review, that unboxing coming up, and a review to go with it. I'm so excited. You guys don't even understand. Alarmo is like the greatest home appliance I have purchased in the last year.
I'm unironically jealous. Like, seriously.
I know. But we've followed along with this too much for too often. Too much time.
Maybe I'll tell Mrs. Movie Monster that's what I want for Christmas. She asked me the other day, "What do you want?" And I'm like, "Nothing." But now maybe I'll be like, Alarmo.
What Alarmo? Jonas laughed at me when we were doing the unboxing. You guys are gonna have to watch it
because you were excited.
I laughed at you when you expressed a desire to want this thing.
Yeah,
he did. We have the tapes.
I'm just gonna tell you. It is the best home appliance I have purchased in this
Excellent.
last year.
I am on your side, Culture.
Thank you. Okay.
Do you want me to get you a Wii Fit Plus too? You know, I was trying to think of furniture-like items that Nintendo sells.
Well, I don't know.
Cool boy.
Wait, does Wii Fit even work anymore?
I don't. Well,
They're
I
shutting
mean,
down the servers.
if you have a Wii U, do you not have a Wii U? Anyways, I'm sorry.
Who has a
guess
Wii U?
I have one like 6
I
feet
have
behind
one,
me.
but it's not like around.
It's
Well,
right
people have an
next to the
Xbox that had a Wii U.
All right, I'm trying
But
to make
Marvin,
sure
there
I
was
got
a Smash on the Wii U. That's why people had a Wii U. That's why I had a Wii U.
That is true. No, but I didn't, because you can get that Smash on 3DS, and that's where I had it.
Now you could originally, yeah.
Yeah, you could back then.
You guys are
I just didn't want to
crazy.
break my 3DS.
Oopsie.
I knew I would.
Okay. I'm trying to make sure I keep track of all the amazing gifties we're getting from the people out there. So thank you for that. And Jonas, since we wrapped up that story about, China not liking Japan. Oh, wait, maybe that wasn't the story. You should do super chats.
Sure thing. Speaking of international relations here, Pinochet's helicopter tours for $2. Rockstar Game Launcher going. Wait, we talked about that one, didn't we?
Yeah, we got the Rockstar one.
Yep.
That was the last one we talked about.
And
that was
for $2. They kept it short to avoid journalistic bias. BS. That's funny. And free of bias, I will say that. Pinochet's helicopter tours for $2. You can buy an NFC writer and make amiibos. Yes, you can. That's right. You could have a whole stack of amiibo cards just sitting there. And stock up in Breath of the Wild.
Cool.
You can actually reach out to Annie Masterson and get your own custom amiibo.
Ooh, I didn't know he made amiibos.
He makes whatever, dude.
I was gonna say he's got to be able to make amiibos. He's the master of toy custom figures.
Yeah,
he's the master, son. Samuel Maine for $10. Have you played Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo? Planet Coaster 2 has feathers feature. I'm assuming that's features from both games and features from Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. They finally added water parks to the game.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Yeah, I love that. Oh, real quick, Samuel Maine. Let me add to that. Planet Zoo actually let the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, which had a terrible launch. I got a video coming out about that for you. But they actually were allowed to use all the Planet Zoo animals in that flight simulator. Just so you know.
Yeah, cool.
Microsoft let them use it.
Alpha Omega for $2 tagged CC on Twitter. Japan Disney did an oopsie. Oh, they do. You want to go check on that?
Yeah,
they never do an oopsie. They're normally the best ones.
They did an oopsie?
Base player iffy for $4.99. Nintendo doesn't have major upgrades for the Switch. Much like the older handhelds, they don't have any major competition. Well, they did just add cloud gaming to PlayStation Portable, or whatever that thing is, the PSP Go, or whatever they call that little controller with a screen on it. I don't get
that
it.
is what controller with a screen, exactly.
I really don't get it on that system, but you're totally right for the Switch. Jacob Foxfires for $5. The backwards compatibility is not shocking to me. It is good to have it confirmed. It is good to have it confirmed, and even better that it's the same digitally. That's a good boon. I agree. I right now, I'm not sure that I would want to buy all my digital games over again for the Switch 2, because Nintendo is not a company that has taught their audience to care about having the biggest and best graphics. So in order to make that jump to the next thing, it has to be very comfortable for them to do that.
Yeah.
So Culture, coming back around to this one, you got it?
I don't. I'm looking at Twitter right now. I don't see anything. Goodness. This was related to Tag CC on Twitter. Japan Disney did an oopsie. I'm not seeing it.
Yep. I'm not seeing it on mine either, even though that was not the one. I don't know. Maybe we'll come back to it later. Paul Whitaker says that gameplay is sponsored by Alarmo. I like to think Alarmo that we sponsored them.
Oh, By the way, just so you know, I feel like I sponsored Alarmo. Real quickly, according to lore, though, and this is just because I looked up Disney in Japan, on this day back in 1993, Disney's Aladdin was released for Nintendo's Super Famicom.
Oh, that game is hard as heck.
I'm just
I
saying.
love that game.
So there you go.
Oh, I do too. It's just hard as heck.
Today
That's
was the day.
one of my
Is it
kids'
the same one as the
favorite.
Sega game?
No, it's not. It's
No,
very
it's a-
different from the Sega game.
Oh no, wait, not with Aladdin. Yeah, with Aladdin.
Super Nintendo.
Yep.
Nintendo.
The Super Nintendo version, that's one of my kids' favorite games for the Super.
Your kids
Okay.
are masochists.
I used to be able to play that game blind. That's back in the day when you only had 3 games at a time, you know?
Yeah. So what else were you going to do but memorize them all?
That's right.
Okay, Tokyo Disney. Tokyo Disney.
Now we're at Tokyo Disneyland.
Mm-hmm. I don't see it. Don't see it.
Culture, you got any more stories for us to cover here?
Oh,
today?
yeah, sorry. Okay, I was easily distracted. I apologize. Yeah. Somebody gave me a you know what it's like. I'm a researcher. You give me something to research, I go do it. All right. Well, we have more Nintendo. Dude,
It's a
I'm on a
breakfast cereal.
Nintendo.
I'm on it today with the Nintendo stuff. I was fascinated by Game Rant's previous story. You know, the sentence they gave. So I thought I'd give you another
Hard-hitting news.
This one actually is news, though. And again, this was 23 minutes ago. Or actually, it was more than that. But when I grabbed it, it was 23 minutes old. Switch 2's latest launch window rumors explained. That's right. Guess what? We have some rumored dates for when the Switch 2 is coming out. Ever since Nintendo acknowledged its existence in May of 2024, the successor to the Nintendo Switch, oftentimes called Switch 2 by fans, has been shrouded in mystery. Talking about the exclusive next-gen console, so far it will be backwards compatible, the current Switch, Marvin, how long have we been reporting that? I feel like we've been reporting it for 2 months.
How long has there been of that game place? Because I think that's how long we've been reporting it.
Yeah. So anyway, it's going to be announced sometime between now and March of 2025.
Oh boy.
So there you go. That's the big news.
Well, that's great. I'm just looking forward to the first time being able to tell my wife I have to buy it for work.
Tax write-off.
That's right.
I have
from the write-off people.
Write-off people. Look, at some point, I hope there aren't write-off people anymore, because I hope there aren't those people around anymore.
I'm sorry, if business expenses are no longer write-offable, then we have a completely different problem.
No. I'm saying if we have a tariff system, we don't need that anymore.
Hey, by the way, but Nintendo is obviously working very hard to move units right now. Do you know what their Black Friday deal is right now? It's the same Black Friday deal it is every single year.
What is that?
$5 off.
The same system plus Mario Kart 8 digitally. That's it.
Okay,
so that's the spot that Nintendo is in right now. They're not that interested in selling the Nintendo Switch 2 right now because everybody has a Nintendo Switch. So I think they're very reluctant to actually pull the trigger on this and be like, yeah, okay, here's the next thing. We're going to hold back Metroid Prime 4 for as long as possible because I think that's going to be a multi-plat for them.
Yeah, when there's scarcity, because I believe that when the Switch 2 comes out, it will be impossible to find for a long period of time.
I don't.
It happened with the Wii. It didn't happen with the Switch initially.
It did happen with the Switch.
I'm going to tell you.
I'm surprised.
The reason that we haven't seen this yet is because they've been producing them like maniacs.
Maniac Mansion for the Nintendo Switch 2.
Look. Now I have to add another story to give context to this conversation. Switch 2 release date rumor has every Nintendo fan locked in for a December reveal. There you go. Could Nintendo Switch 2 be
why would they do December though? I mean, unless they're going to do it like, hey, I hope you all have your gift cards from December from Christmas.
They may.
Yeah, do they do it like Christmas Eve?
That would be the
most. Get a pre-order under the tree
to do.
If they tell us
that'd be so funny, Marvin. Oh my gosh.
if they tell us this holiday season that this thing is coming out in March, you don't think every kid's going to save their holiday money? You know, the whatever the aunts and uncles and grandparents gave them in cold hard cash.
I think you
for
would
the
literally. I think you'd get a lot of pre-orders. I think you'd
Right,
get a
that
lot of
too.
gifts as pre-orders.
That's
Just like
true.
when the original Star Wars figures came out, and they didn't have them printed in time for the holiday season. You got like a cardboard thing with pictures of all the action figures on it for Christmas, being like, "This is pre-bought. You'll have it when it comes out."
I don't know.
Okay, so the reason this is important, again, context matters. Okay, that's the difference between us and gaming urinalists that you see over on other places. Rumors are circulating that Nintendo Switch 2 could be revealed as early as December 2024.
I think that's
This-
a lot of as
I
early
think that's
as
hopeful thinking.
Yeah.
The speculation draws parallels to the original Switch reveal, which saw major details revealed unexpectedly in December of 2016. With
Details
major
are different than confirming it's coming out, though.
With major events like the Game Awards approaching, many fans believe Nintendo could take advantage of it.
Major events like what?
They don't need the Game Awards. Are you kidding me? Nintendo could just fart
Nintendo
tomorrow and everybody will like know about it.
Right. Speaking of which, by
Nintendo
the
was
way,
the first company that decided they didn't need E3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of which,
They started the directs.
This is an excellent time to point out that we'll be reviewing a Nintendo Direct at 10 p.m. Eastern tonight over on that Park Place, because we have yet to relish in that Shigeru Miyamoto video where he goes through Donkey Kong Land over there at Universal Studios Japan.
That's what you're
I'll be
doing
there
tonight?
as quickly as I can.
Yeah. I really, this is the reason that I don't think that the Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out too soon, because first of all, Samus Aran, and I don't know why they're moving her so much, but Metroid Prime Remastered, still haven't had a chance to play. Metroid Dread, amazing game. They take their time. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond still doesn't have even a release quarter. It just has a release year. And for me, I really feel like that's going to be the first game on the Nintendo Switch 2 that they announce. I feel it in my Nintendo following bones.
In your Nintendo bones.
All right. Well, I want to say a quick shout out to a channel I know follows us and a group of other creators that I think I'm a huge fan of. The folks over at Salty Nerd Gaming. It's great to see you guys. Thanks for hanging around with us. We appreciate you. Big fan of your main channel. That's Dutch Butters. That's right. Yeah. Butters. Yeah, and all our pals over there, they're killing it. Tebow, I haven't seen Tebow here for a while, but he's doing great stuff. We got great people out there that we follow that follow us as well. So thanks for that, guys. We appreciate it.
Yep.
We also have some great super chats since you don't want to talk about my stories. So that's fine.
Well, I thought we were talking about Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah, I want Nintendo Switch 2. And you guys are just downplaying what I said.
Conspiracy for $5. I was done with Nintendo for the foreseeable future because I got a Steam Deck.
Understood.
Did you mention this Alarmo?
Oh yeah, Alarmo, great.
Jacob Foxfires for $10. Also, to add a bit, a lot of Japanese studios are ending a lot of their mobile games. Thank goodness. I think they realize they can't get in the market with China and Korea, so I think they are pulling out. I appreciate that the mobile games market is getting a more robust idea of how people use those devices. That's as in they don't use those devices for anything long term. Every now and then you'll come across something huge, but the best game that I've played recently on a mobile device that is actually intended for mobile is it's Japanese rural homestead simulator or something like that. And it's like Animal Crossing, but you're only building one house, and you're building up a house in the Japanese mountains. It's beautiful. It's fun. Alpha Omega.
In real life.
I do want to do that in real life, except I have obligations more than cutting down trees in the most complicated way possible. Alpha Omega for $2. Disney broke the sword and firearms law. HP swords. Harry Potter swords?
That's what I read it as, but I don't know what that means.
Interesting.
If it's not a theme park thing that's HP, then I have no idea what it could be.
Okay, so Disney, as in Tokyo Disney. Okay, I'm gonna look into that. Base player iffy for $4.99. Smart Money as Switch 2 will be launched alongside Prime 4. Thank you very much. So good luck getting one on launch day. I think it'll be on both systems, by the way, in the same way that Breath of the Wild was.
Like Twilight Princess.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, for those that are saying in the chat, I didn't get the Star Wars IOUs on Christmas. I wasn't alive when that happened.
Dude,
your parents were monsters. I was like, no.
For 8 years, I got the Sears catalog every Christmas and circled all the Star Wars stuff.
Of course, everybody did.
Yeah, I used to circle. I remember circling catalogs for stuff. That was fun. Now I just go on Amazon and I'm an adult and I can buy it.
I'm so old. I would circle Atari games. I want this Atari game. I want this.
But everything that I want for Christmas this year, I feel I hate it. I become an adult. Everything I want is practical. Nothing is fun. Like I'm looking at microphones.
Dude, it's the worst feeling. I know what you're. Yeah, it's awful.
I'm looking at microphones, which, by the way, Culture, I need your opinion on some microphone stuff when this is over.
Yeah, indeed.
But then I'm also I can't wait till Christmas for this. I should just get it now, myself.
No, that's the problem. Once you get older, my family doesn't know what to get to me because they're he just buys all the games or cards or whatever he wants.
I'm looking into this and I'm seeing many interesting things about Tokyo Disneyland, but I'm not seeing anything about swords.
I do believe it's possible because they still have the same attractions and stuff.
Yep.
But yeah.
Well, swords have been outlawed. Swords have been outlawed in Japan for hundreds of years, right? Since the Meiji era, it's been illegal to carry swords.
Yeah.
Well,
unless you're Rurouni Kenshin and you carry a reverse blade sword, in which case you just do it.
I'm sorry that we're not able to find this here. Here we go. Japan Disney broke the sword. Japan Disney broke the Sword and Firearms Act by selling Gryffindor wall hanger swords and are now recalling them. Okay, I think I see. I think this is where the confusion is. That is Universal Studios Japan, if it's Harry Potter, because they don't have the rights to Harry Potter at Disney. So that helps a little bit to lower that down a little bit. So that's probably worth covering on that Park Place, though.
Yeah, we definitely. I dare you guys to cover that.
Yep, I'm already writing it down.
All right. Well, who knows how that sword got into the park? It could have been through a hat, for instance.
Well, yeah. Sometimes
only a true Gryffindor though could do that.
Pull that out of it.
Right, and help will always be granted at Hogwarts to those who need it. So,
Butterbeer. That's my contribution to this conversation.
I hate to run early, but I have to go. And all the super chats have been read. There may be more super chats though. Guys, check out that Park Place tonight for an extra magic hours at 10 p.m. Eastern time. See ya.
Bye, Jonas left.
Big gulps up.
Bye, Jonas.
Jonas doesn't get our big gulps.
See ya. No big gulps for Jonas.
Okay.
Yeah, we were gonna.
He got picked up before we went to the 7-Eleven.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Okay, with him gone now, I can't do the tote board. I can just say that we have very generous folks today, and thank you. Normally I update the tote board, but we got caught up in covering all of your wonderful stories. And for the 450 of you or so that are out there, hi. But here, this is the game. This is the thing I wanted to talk with Jonas about. He's not even here.
Yo, news.
It was a Fortnite thing.
Oh, might have to save it for next week.
All right. Well, I'm not saving it.
I mean, you want? That's his fault then.
This is all kinds of dumb, in my opinion. You ready for the dumbness?
This is so awkward because I'm still in the background trying to find this story so I can send it to you guys. But go ahead, introduce the story.
Fortnite Chapter 6 leaks point to Godzilla crossover. Update: Godzilla and Baymax are now confirmed.
That's awesome.
Finally.
That's my thoughts on this. That's awesome.
Godzilla versus Baymax, finally.
Jonas. Anyway, man, so Tom Phillips over there, who's editor-in-chief at Eurogamer, says that update, Fortnite has now released an official version of yesterday's Chapter 6 artwork, confirming the inclusion of both Godzilla and Baymax in the next iteration of Epic Games' Evergreen Battle Royale. So
I
wait,
can't imagine that Godzilla is going to be a playable character. I would assume Godzilla is going to be like a threat you have to run from.
Jonas and I were actually talking about this yesterday because Jonas sent me the leak and we were talking about it because we're the Fortniters, and I was like, "What are we gonna like? How is Godzilla gonna be a playable character?" And he's like, "It's probably gonna be like Venom. He's just gonna be giant and everybody can hit you from across the map."
Probably.
I don't know. How's this gonna work?
It's not gonna.
It's just dumb.
It's gonna be. Yeah.
They'll
Isn't
make
that what
it
isn't that what Doom was? Wasn't Doom like
Doom had yeah, you had an event thing where you like fought him on the map. There might be a thing like that for Godzilla.
finally Baymax versus Godzilla? I've been waiting
I'd watch
all
it.
these years.
If you played Kingdom Hearts 3, that already happened.
Is this like a battle moment where you have to like everybody has to get together and get rid of Godzilla?
We don't know yet.
All right.
This is just the splash. This is just a splash art. This just shows up.
I would be the jerk. I would be the jerk that while the other players are attacking Godzilla, I'd be picking them off one by one. It's still a game to be won here, gentlemen.
I don't know.
You're not here to save humanity. I'm watching you.
I'm here to win.
Okay, but is it going to be like weird pink Godzilla, or is it going to be like?
Oh God, I hope not.
I like pink Godzilla, so
cool Toho Godzilla.
I like both. I don't think it matters.
All right, you're like, why not both? So anyway,
yeah, like I know you're negative on it because it's Fortnite, but I see only positives coming out of here.
Wait a minute.
I think it's gonna be early 2000s Godzilla from the American movie.
98, not even 2000. Marvin, get your movies right.
I was trying to figure out what grade I was in at the time.
Gosh, I'm telling the guys on the back lot.
Okay, look at this. Okay, I'm going to say this out loud in front of people, like 400 something people. Fortnite's okay.
That's the best compliment you're getting out of him.
I've played it. I might play it again.
Okay.
There you go.
I might play it again too. We could play it together.
Play it again.
Speaking of,
I'm done with work tonight.
And look, I promise you, Jonas is still in the back hiding, and he just heard the best news he's ever heard. I might play Fortnite, which means I might play with him.
I've been saying we need to play Fortnite. We need to do a Fortnite stream with all of us playing.
You guys, honestly, you throwing me under the bus here. First of all, I'm trying to do research for this story and for other stories here. I'm always watching. But yes, okay, Fortnite this season is not good though.
No, we can agree on that.
Yeah. So here is the thing. I'm hearing that Godzilla will actually be a skin that you can get here. So
what's that hitbox look like?
Yeah, it's going to be giant.
It's going to be one of those things where it's either going to be a massive flex to win as Godzilla, or it's going to be one of those situations where it's only children that do it. Baymax is also going to be a massive hitbox as well, because you look at the broad shoulders on that. There are skins like the Brute and Venom that are huge, and they're very, very visible when they're on the map. So we Spencer and I talked about the hitbox thing, where you actually have an advantage if you play as a female character or one of those teeny tiny characters like Miles Morales, who's skinny and short on the maps here. So I don't know. I like the idea of having a Godzilla skin, like from a collector standpoint, but I really don't see why they would do this. If you get Godzilla and put some sneakers on him, maybe that would work. Also,
dang it, I was going to make a kicks joke next.
Man, the kicks are like the dumbest feature, except if
really are
like, and they're double the price of a good emote as well. So I really don't understand what Fortnite is doing right now.
Okay.
But Godzilla in the game, that's enough to get my attention.
We have one last story, and I need to get to it because I have 11 minutes before I'm supposed to be elsewhere.
All right.
So you go away.
Let's get to it.
All right. Oh, by the way, something else for you to research, Jonas, because I was going to do this story, but I don't really think I have time. This is another game story you guys don't want to miss. I told it to Marvin already. Marvin was excited. I'm probably more excited. I'm excited because this is a neat technology that we should have been using for a long time. And I like my Steam Deck, like many people out there do. And now you get the best of both worlds. Tencent reveals Lunar
Oh,
Lake powered
no.
11-inch handheld, packing an Intel Core Ultra 7 and a massive 128 hertz display and 32 gigs of onboard RAM, a terabyte of storage, and coolest of all things, it
A
contains
CCP membership card?
no. It takes the existing stuff and it utilizes real-time eye tracking technology for glasses-free 3D auto stereoscopic experience. Boom.
You
This just makes me feel
out front.
uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So
a,
you
like a 10-cent device that can track all my eye movements and stuff. Nah, man, I'm all right. I'll play an Atari if I need video games that bad.
So these things, the pre-installed controllers enjoy Hall effect joysticks, Hall effect joysticks, linear triggers, and 2 customizable buttons at the back. Even so, the controllers are detachable, so if you want to swap them out for third-party ones, you can. Just make sure they're compatible with what is being called the 3D One.
Oh, that's the name of the handheld, is the
Yeah.
3D one.
Yeah.
Do they say what it's going to be retailing for there, Culture?
$745 million.
Oof.
No, I don't know.
Holy.
That was a joke. I
Oh,
thought you would get that from the drastic exaggeration of the price. There's
I
dollars
I know. I
in
just heard 700, and then I
I know. I was with Marvin. Both of us at the same time just went, nope.
No, but look, I mean, you're gonna get this amazing product if you want it, if you want to support China. But look at this. It's got controllers, it's got a little keyboard, it's got all kinds of stuff. So, but there's no price on it.
Those sweatshop workers are outdoing themselves.
They really, really are. But we've come to the end of our show, which I'm double checking to make sure we didn't get any more super chats. Yeah, 1X Player F1 Pro is releasing this month. I did not know that, Paul. I'll have to go check that out. On that note, we had a great show. I want to say that while I didn't get a chance to update as I normally do at the very end of the wonderful scoreboard, I'll just say this. Thank you for all the amazing super chats. These two gentlemen work really hard to produce news in 2 different locations. We've got That Park Place representing Marvin the Movie Monster. He's your favorite little orange guy who's got a show coming up later tonight. Marvin.
Yes, sir. So yeah, we got Toonie Town Wrestling tonight, Toonie Talk Wrestling over on Toonie Town Wrestling, and we're going to be talking about AEW Full Gear. We're going to be doing a preview of WWE Survivor Series, which we will be doing live stream for this weekend coming up. So come check us out at 8 p.m. and make sure you bookmarked to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thank you for
Kevin
that.
back tonight?
Is Kevin Apollo back?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know he wasn't on whatever that other one we were watching Saturday night. I know he wasn't
on the live stream because he wasn't on the pay-per-view live stream because he wasn't going to watch that pay-per-view. But yeah, he'll be there tonight.
All right. And other people who are around that are also editors in charge of things. It's Spencer Baculi from...
Yeah, shout out Alan Ing, filmthreat.com. No, check out boundingintocomics.com every day. You can check out my channel if you want to hang out with me, Kabuto Studios. And then, of course, check out everything everybody else has going on. That Park Place, That Game Place, Toonie Town TV, 6-minute update. Everybody know what everybody's doing. They'll tell you. You don't need me.
Actually, we do need you, especially for our foil something.
Oh, yeah, I have a show where I talk about comic books on Thursday nights. Foil Variant, 6 p.m. Central Time. Come hang out with us. Me and Andrew of the Rippaverse.
See, I knew you'd forget. But
you guys know me. You guys know me.
what I won't forget is the amazing people here, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for joining us on this live version of That Game Place. We've got a ton of videos coming out later this week. Jonas is going to hate me. Well, actually, he may not. I may foist this duty on Spencer and make him make the thumbnails for all these videos. But we'll see. On that note, I'll just say, as I always do, and this is important. This is the proper way to end the show. Are you ready? Get your game on.
But for me, it was Tuesday.
Okay, that wasn't it. I hit the wrong button. It was Tuesday. Gentlemen, I'm going to ask you one more time before we jump into the Ubisoft Assassin's Creed part of the story. What do you think that they could do to actually make this work? How could they improve here? Holy edit fest, Batman.